And welcome back. Well, most pet owners agree pets are family. And some people want to make sure our four-legged friends enjoy the holiday fun right by our side. But not every dog is happy around crowds.
That's right. Here with some helpful insights is Leann Boucha. She's the Behavior Department Manager at HAWS. Also from HAWS is Smieja with her little pup, Magnus, right? It's
correct.
Does he get anxious around the holidays, around people?
He gets anxious all the time.
Oh, he is.
He's doing a very good job of playing the role of nervous pet today.
Okay,
Really?
okay, that's his part.
Because he looks really calm and great, but I think once you know your pet, you understand when they're uncomfortable or anxious,
Exactly,
right?
Exactly, and those are the things that you really need to key into on the holidays and when you're going to be in different situations, because others are not necessarily going to understand what stresses your pet out or those stress actions. But we definitely are going to know those things.
And I think it's great to communicate that, you know, like you said, is really say, you know, he doesn't like it when, you know, you do that or whatever it may be. I think that sort of help to people is always liked. What are some behaviors that you can find from a dog or a cat when they're anxious or uncomfortable?
Yeah, so Magnus actually throws out a couple stress signals or calming signals quite frequently. In the green room here, he was yawning, he was avoiding
there it is.
contact.
Oh, there we go. Right
now.
Yeah.
Good boy.
You know, he can be warm, but also a stress pan is more of like an anxious, elevated breathing, rapid breathing. So the stress pant, he was trying to hide behind Jen at one point. So, you know, when you know your dog and you can tell that they're more anxious, the important rule of thumb, I think, is to make sure that you understand wholeheartedly your dog doesn't have to be friends with every guest. Sometimes they're going to be most comfortable put away where the guests aren't going to go in the home.
Especially when there's small kids sometimes coming at them, right?
Yeah. What about things like, because he has a Kong there, are there, well, let's start with here, with the baby gate. Is it a good idea to use those to kind of give them a safe space away from people?
Yeah, I think that communicates just what it needs to. The dog is busy, it's occupied, he is occupying himself with a puzzle toy or a stuffed Kong, and it just kind of communicates to your guests, okay, this is the pet-only area, and that can provide the pet with a sense of relief from
the cat taunting the
busyness.
dog.
I
like people.
It can separate animals from different households that are now joined under one roof for the holidays.
Oh, like if someone brings their pet. Oh, I see what's happening there.
That's a great point. Yeah. Being crated sometimes is good, and having their favorite toy or something that keeps them occupied, right?
And then also a rule of thumb for children that are at the party. You know, if the pet is in their safe spot, we don't bother the pet when they're there. It can keep both the children and the pet safe.
Question on that, because oftentimes when you crate or you put your pet in another room, they become very vocal. And it's hard, I think, as a pet parent to hear that and not want to go tend to it. What do you suggest?
And that's very true, and that might happen. That might realistically happen for a lot of families. But you can't be playing hostess or host really well at the same time that you're playing pet parent.
So it's okay to let them be vocal and meow or bark a little?
Yes, and yes and no. We want to make sure that you're meeting your pet's needs before the party. Exercise, mental stimulation. If they can't handle the household of guests and they're going to be barking the whole time, I'm not here to say that anxiety should be ratcheted the whole day just for the sake of putting them away. Can they go to grandma and grandpa's? Can a neighbor take them? You want to start planning that well before the holidays and stick to that plan to benefet the animal as well.
It's really great.
What about being tethered to someone to prevent the, because I noticed that, you know, she's kind of got the leash in hand, and it's like a safety net for her pet.
Magnus and Jen are my example here. He does really well with mom. So it's kind of like if you're going to bring your pet to the holidays, or if you're the one hosting and your pet is anxious without you, well, you have to realize that you have to cater to your animal if you're going to do that. So it's either bring them and have this be your plan, or leave them at home if it's going to be too much of a burden to have them tethered.
Little pets sometimes can get stepped on by drunk uncle. So, should you consider putting them away just because of size?
Yeah, you can, if it's puppies, if it's
You've seen that before.
Oh, yeah. And they're both like, yes.
Yes. An exercise pen, a different room.
Yeah. All good stuff.
There's other reasons. They don't just have to be anxious. There can be drunk uncle.
Well, I liked your
Safety
idea.
first.
I liked your idea about exercising the dog before the festivities begin. And this is a great thing to keep kids and other people occupied. Hey, take the dog for a walk or a run or out to play or something, so that they've got, you know, they've got that under their belt before everybody comes over.
Yes, less busyness in the household. Go walk the dog.
When everybody says walk, your ears like, whoop.
Oh, go for a walk. Oh.
She's like, yes. Did you see that? Yes. A walk.
When is that happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. And have a plan and stick to it too.
Right, right.
Yes.
If you can communicate with all the members of the family, or even as many of the guests as possible beforehand, to discuss who is bringing which pet, who doesn't need to bring a pet, what are we going to do if such and such happens? Can we get these animals together before we even all go inside? You know, let's not create the chaos indoors if we can get rid of some of the chaos outdoors. All this pre-planning, anything you can do ahead of time, just to make sure everybody's on the same page as to how this is going to work out. Ultimately, everyone will be a lot more relaxed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So great.
Great advice. Right now, you're having your 6th annual Winter Symposium that's happening January 14th in the new year, which is really exciting. This symposium is an educational experience. You're going to focus on alternate approaches to companion animal care, the management of them, the training. Your keynote speaker this year is going to be Dr. Sue Powell from Standard Process, talking about the benefits of, this cracks me up, bone broth for your pets and people too, which I love. We've done a segment on bone broth here on the show, which is great. There are a lot of health benefits. For details on registering, you can go to hawspets.org or call the phone number you see there on your screen. Great to see you guys.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Same to you.